Hello everyone and welcome back to the Norak Baz Music Channel. Today I'm going to be checking out a song from the band Fate Gear. This is a band that I decided to look up because I never see it in the recommendations, but I have heard two of their songs in the past. I never reacted to any of their stuff, but the two songs I've heard from them before and I've listened to plenty of times are Unbreakable Wings and Headless Goddess. So today I'm going to be checking out their song, This Fate. And I'm always, of course, open to discovering more bands. So if you can think of other bands like this or other bands you think I might like, based on all the stuff I've listened to, go ahead and leave those down below. And also, if there's any other Fate Gear songs you do want me to react to, go ahead and leave those down below as well. Because I remember, I really like the two songs I've heard. I listened to Headless Goddess like countless number of times. So yeah, let's jump in to This Fate. Okay, definitely different from some of their other stuff. The song itself does say it's a symphonic black/death metal song. I do like the fact that they can change up their sound a bit. Definitely heavier than the other two songs I've heard. And I've heard the growling from in Headless Goddess, and that's what blew me away from them in the first place. I don't know why I never checked out more of their songs afterwards, but that just means I get to experience more songs with you guys. Now, with that being said, holy crap, that violin, and holy crap, those drums. And that voice, just... This band is, I feel like, so good, and I'm actually surprised I never see them pop up in the comments, or people mentioning them in the comments at all, because this is exactly right up my alley, and I feel like it fits into a lot of the stuff I've been listening to on the channel, especially with like me listening to bands like Archspire, and then me listening to a lot of Japanese bands in general. This is just such a good combination of both of those worlds. Now let's jump back into it. I just got some goosebumps from that part when they were both singing at the same time. I feel like I really gravitate towards bands that have multiple vocalists in them, just because it does create more of a diverse sound, especially when different singers can pop in and out of different songs, or if they do like a song that focuses on one singer and then a different song in completely different style that focuses on the style of the other singer's voice. It just opens up so many opportunities. And that seems to be a much more common thing in both Europe and Asia, as opposed to the US. In the US, it's very hard to find bands that have multiple singers. And of course, there are going to be exceptions to that, but like just in general, it just seems more prevalent in other countries outside of America. All right, let's jump right back into this one. Out of all the instruments that I have played, drums are definitely the most demanding. And when you're doing like death metal and black metal style drumming, the amount of calories you burn is insane. And that that is such a clean drum sound. It's really blowing me away. And then I have to mention the tone of the bass, especially at that one part where like it was the bass going along with the drums. What kind of bass do they have? Because I saw like the bass itself. It looks really cool. Also, love the design on the guitar. And again, this is a band that actually knows how to mix, or their producer or whoever mixes their music knows how to mix it so the violin can actually be heard. It is something I always praise whenever I can actually hear all the instruments, especially when they're actually showing them on screen. I've mentioned it before with a band such as Yellowcard, where sometimes you can't hear the violin, even though, unless you specifically listen for it. If you're just listening to it without even knowing that there's a violin in the band, you might not even ever hear the fact that there's a violin in the band. This, you can definitely hear it. Also, they're looking a lot less steampunk than usual. And I know like their whole gimmick is the whole steampunk aesthetic, so interesting that you're seeing a bit less of it in this video. But overall, I'm hooked on this song. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the other two songs again and see which song I like best. And are they kind of similar in the like how Love Bites does different genres? Like, is that part of their thing as well? Except they obviously Fate Gear seems to do much more extreme vocal styles, just because they have a vocalist that can do the growling and stuff like that. If you could answer that for me, I would love that. And of course, I would also love if you were to suggest other songs to listen to from this band. Is that a harpsichord? Sounds like harpsichord in the background there. Oh, they're gone. Man, this band, and 3 times throughout the song, I've gotten goosebumps. I need to get a goosebump cam. At some point, I need to do that just so I can like be like prove to you guys that I'm getting goosebumps listening to this music. Okay. And obviously I'd want to get that version with the CD and DVD or Blu-ray if there's a Blu-ray version. Anyway. All right, that that blew me away. I knew I liked them before. I was not expecting this band to get that heavy, and I'm glad I picked this song. I know generally I do go with your guys' suggestions, but every once in a while I want to go out on a limb on my own and just click on something. I'm either something from a band I've listened to a while back that I want to just rediscover or find more stuff of, such as Fate Gear. Or sometimes I'll just see the most random thing and be like, you know what? This looks interesting. But a majority of the time, I will go through your guys' suggestions. I'm amazed with Fate Gear right now. Another thing that I remember from watching the video to Headless Goddess is, like, I was instantly drawn to the whole steampunk aesthetic because I do love steampunk in general. I just love how that aesthetic looks. And I remember seeing the drummer with like the gear shaped symbols and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that is awesome. I don't know how that would actually sound practically, but I kind of want something like that. And that's the thing, like, I love when bands have like their own gimmick. And to me personally, I don't think gimmicks are a bad thing at all. I know some people say it in a more derogatory way, but in order for bands to stand out, sometimes you kind of need a hook to kind of pull people in. And whether that be something in your music or something aesthetically, it's always nice to see bands doing something to really stand out. And also, if you guys could, for suggestions for this band, if you have any suggestions at all, give me either a song that's a completely different style from the songs I've mentioned before and this song, or give me their heaviest song, because I'm very curious if this is their heaviest song, then okay. But if they have something even heavier than this song, I would like to hear it. And also, if there's any other bands similar to this, or any bands that kind of remind you of this that you want to send my way, it doesn't have to be Japanese or Asian band in general, just a band that does this style of music, leave those in the comments down below, along with a song to check out. If you enjoyed this reaction, please hit the like button. If you want to see more content from me in the future, please subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when I upload next. Have a good one. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.